So hi, One Look Noise Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Eric
and Caleb from Friday Pilots Club.
And with some questions to say about the upcoming album Nowhere. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you guys feel about the response to the announcement so far?
So excited, man. It's it's cool. We put a lot of work into this, and it feels very proportional, the response that we've gotten thus far. So we're honored.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Been following you guys for a minute. Stoked for the debut record to be here. It fucking rocks. Vampire Disco. What a fucking ass shaker. So good.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, thank you guys. It's we're excited for it to be out in the world. You know, we've spent a lot of time working on it, so we are ready for it to be out in the world.
Man, if I had any ass to shake, I would shake it to Vampire Disco. So.
Dude, I don't blame you. I don't have much of an ass to shake either, but it's the motion that matters.
Crazy fucking sentence. So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
Yeah, it's so Nowhere is the title track. Mm-hmm. And for us it's just kind of about I don't know, like meeting somebody that kind of gives you oblivion. You know, we like it. I think that it was more the sonic qualities of the song that made it become the title track, because we were like, this is what, you know, we are going to keep doing, making weird, dancey, poppy, you know, rock music. But we're going to do it our own way. And I think that Nowhere kind of embodies that.
Yeah. Sure. It also took a minute to come up with the album title. You know, we had bounced around a bunch of ideas when we were working on it. And, you know, we recorded the album in Georgia remotely, you know, and at the end of the trip, we had a lot of work to do. And, you know, we kind of weren't sure where this body of work sat, you know, and eventually the name came around Nowhere, and it kind of embodied what we had been working on. You know, we had ended up in this place that was nowhere, and it's something beautiful. So kind of just stuck.
Yeah, hell yeah. And
hell yeah.
Any meaning behind the cover art?
We have an awesome he was like the art director for the album. His name's Shane Cox, and he's absolutely incredible. And you know, we were kind of like, we are artistic in the way of music, you are artistic in the way of, you know, visual art. Like, show us what you think. And I think it was like the first round of stuff he sent this, and it's, I don't know, it's great. It feels very like edgy and, you know, isolated too, which is, I think, the word that comes to mind for me. And yeah, so we really loved that.
Yeah. And he actually took that photo too.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So it was like one of the first things he sent too, and we were like, that's awesome. Kind of just stuck with it.
Hell yeah. So can you guys tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Sure. We it's been written over the course of about 2.5 years. I think that when we went to Georgia, we had 60 songs, right? Something like that, 50 or 60 songs.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's so funny. People are always shocked when they hear that number, but I remember listening to an Ed Sheeran interview one time where he was like, oh yeah, I go into every album cycle with like 100 songs and whittle it down. And I think it is shocking as a band to have that many, but a lot of these things, when we brought them in, were just like a verse and a chorus. And then we sat down as a band and we made every single one of the songs into something that we all, you know, had a part in, that you can hear everybody's voice in. And when it comes to lyrics, it kind of changes every single time. You know, everybody in this band writes lyrics, and we all kind of pass them by each other when we're applying them to the song. But yeah, it's cool. It really is cool. I feel like everybody also has kind of like a song on the album where I'm like, that's James, that's Drew, that's, you know, Eric, Sean. Yeah, and that's cool because it so meshes together, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, that number is always daunting. Like the bands I work with, management wise, you know, you tell them you got to write 40 songs before the label's going to green light your record. They're like, but why? Because like you're gonna find the 10 best songs when you write more. Like you're not gonna you're the first 10 you write might not be the 10 that makes the record.
Yeah, we hadn't. It's great in that sense of not settling, you know, and looking back, it was a lot of work, and we even worked on a lot of songs that didn't make the cut, but it resulted in, you know, I think the best 12 songs that we had, and we're really stoked about it.
Yeah, picking singles was like pulling teeth.
Oh yeah, especially with 5 people, it was.
Yeah.
So then, can you walk us a little bit through that process of the single picking?
Sure. You know, we were signed to a label a while ago, and so we do have that respect for like things that are going to land a little bit easier. But only one of those songs we picked because of that. Everything else was kind of like, we just love the way that this sounds. We knew, I think we all knew, right, that Vampire Disco was going to be single one, because it was just, it is literally a song that from the time that Drew showed us this little like techno thing, that it was all 5 of us the entire way. And we just felt really good about it. It's dancey, it's fun. For me, it's easy to sing, which I love. Not breaking my throat every single time I try and reach for those notes.
Yeah.
But the other 3 were, I mean, there was a lot of going back and forth. Like our group chat, I don't know how our manager deals with us, because we're all just like there was one song where I was like all gas, no brakes on for a little bit. And then in the 11th hour, I came back and I was like, I actually don't like this song as a single. I'm not going to say which one it was, but and then we got to talk about that. And like that would happen over again. But it's a good thing, because there was no clear singles on the album. It was like, when you hear it, you'll get it. It's like, it's weird. There are some slow songs on the album, and I think that those were the only ones that it was easy to choose them not being a single, even though I'd say one of the slow songs is probably my favorite on the album.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of. Yeah, and I remember at one point we had a whiteboard too, and we were like, all right, everyone give us your 3 or 4 that you think, and narrowing it down. A lot of compromise, and we eventually got there.
That's good.
That's all that matters.
I will say, Out of My Body, that will haunt me from now on. You're going to hear on the album called Out of My Body, and I was like, that should have been a single.
Damn. That's compromise, though.
Gloria and I were talking about favorites before this, and she actually mentioned that one as her favorite. So funny you mentioned that song.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's either Out of My Body or a song called Ultraviolet. They're just so fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Damn right. So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is each of your own personal favorite?
Which one took the longest to write? Oh my.
Yeah, probably We Don't Want to Talk About It. Because that for the longest time, when we opened it up, started working on it, it was just like this A and B section, and it took a long time to like get the structure and just figure out what we wanted to do with it. So that probably took the longest. As short of a song as it is, it took a while.
It had this free form. Before we wrote it with a guy named Chris Lyon. It was James, Drew, and I in LA, and the original demo was like just kind of copy pasted. We had basically 4 parts, and 2 of them were potential like hooks, and we just had them in this random order. But then, bringing it to the group and all of us making a decision that it needed a second verse. Then we went in and we wrote a second verse together, and it just took a long time, especially on the production side. Luckily, we have James and Drew, and I guess you and Sean are both kind of producers in your own right. And figuring out a way to keep the energy moving and flowing, and like, that was hard. Yeah, there was a lot of me just doing this.
Fair enough. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And favorites off the record?
Go for it.
Drew's favorite is probably Atlas. I'm not going to speak for the other guys. Actually, I feel like that would be rude.
I'll speak for him.
Sean doesn't like the single song. No. Drew's probably Atlas. He wrote this incredible interlude that he brought to us, and we were like, yeah, that's amazing. That's going to be the interlude in the middle of the album. I don't really know, James, what he loves.
Well, it's also the cool thing about it is I feel like it changes a lot for all of us as we were making the album. Yeah. James, I think, maybe favorite part is one of his favorites. Sean, yeah, it's hard to speak for people, but I would say Sean's is probably Nosedive or Nowhere, actually. Sean really loves Nowhere, I know. And then mine, maybe we don't want to talk about it. I love a good riff, and that's a really fun one to play. Or Coffin. Just love Coffin.
Yeah.
Currently.
Hell yeah.
I think my favorite song on the album is either Ultraviolet or Out of My Body. But the song I'm most proud of is Favorite Part, which is the album closer. And it's just such a special song. Yeah. And every time I sing it, I feel like, we're singing it over and over again right now in rehearsals. And it's still, I feel the way that I did the first time that like we were in the room writing that. And that's special, it's really cool.
It's awesome. Hell yeah. So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener for the opener, close be a closer? Did you shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
The order came after we had like finishing to do on all the songs. We knew like what the songs were going to be, but it was kind of another thing where we all just shot around a bunch of ideas of what's the best flow here, and we were very similar, I think, in a lot of where the songs ended up, but we didn't write with that in mind, really. It was kind of just like, okay, this one makes sense next, you know what I mean? And kind of just worked out in that way.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Makes sense. So would you guys be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
My oh man. That's the first time I've ever been asked that about this. Thank you.
Of course.
Personally, wow, thank you. In my own life, I don't think I can speak for the other guys, but in my own life, it came from a very big moment of change. But a few things that happened in 2021 that just really altered my life, and I think I was trying to go out in the world and figure out how love and intimacy and everything works again. And with the lens of the music that I was listening to, which is and will always be the Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys, and listening to a lot of Declan McKenna, stuff like that, and trying to have this sort of like poetic and cool, not really nihilistic, not really, well, I guess it is kind of nihilistic, but view of the things that we're talking about, and getting older and figuring out companionship and friendship and how that changes as the band succeeds more and as as we get busier in our own personal lives and stuff. And there's a lot of talking about that on the album. It was a very hard time for me, but I feel, not to toot my own horn, but toot toot, I feel like I've come out on top and have developed some really good routines and boundaries and everything. And yeah, a lot of that was just learning it as we were writing these songs and songs that didn't make it on the
album. I'm glad you had that outlet. Eric, what about you?
Yeah, I share a lot of the same sentiments as him. We really went through the ringer emotionally, the excitement of going somewhere to record an album remotely, to getting it finished and stuff, and the anxiety of making sure it's done on time and everything, but and just figuring out how to compromise and just dealing with the chaos that we all have in our daily lives while also trying to do something that we hold so dear to our heart, music making, and it was a whirlwind of emotions, I guess, but I'd say currently just so stoked that it's done and it's ready for it to be out in the world for everyone to hear what we've been working on.
Hell yeah.
I'm right.
So how do you guys recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should do in the car with friends, in dark with headphones on? Is a workout album, party album? What do you guys personally recommend?
Get in the car, and I'm not saying drive as fast as you can, but I'm saying drive as fast as you legally can.
Okay.
There you go.
And
maybe 5 over.
Yeah, maybe 5 over. That's okay.
Ooh, don't get too crazy.
And yeah, play it loud. Do not listen quietly. Yeah.
I would say, yeah, I would say a car would be a good spot. Or it's also a good question.
On a bridge overlooking Paris.
Yeah. Car would be a good spot. I'd say, yeah. Alone, wherever your place is.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Love that. Yeah. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your heads. I want you guys to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. 3 words each, 6 total, no more, no less.
Dark.
Okay.
Relentless.
Mhm.
And sassy.
Oh, God. Now I have to think of 3 others. You said dark. That's a good one. I would say moody, maybe. Dancey,
Okay.
Okay.
I guess. And I guess somewhat sad, like bittersweet, I'd
Yeah.
say. Some of the lyrics, definitely hit home for a lot of us when we listen to it. So yeah, I'll choose bittersweet,
Bittersweet.
dancey, and moody.
Hell yeah. So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I would say just apply it to your own life, however you want to. It's something that's really great that comes from writing lyrics together, is that the album is written, one song is the viewpoint of 5 different people. So, why not make it fucking, millions of people, apply it to your own life. If favorite part is a happy song for you, then let it be a happy song. If Ultraviolet makes you think of your grandma, seek help. No, I would hope that people, feel no pressure to hear the songs any way than how they hear it.
Even just in our own right, like I know we talk about this a lot, just listening to the songs for almost a year now. They've all kind of changed their feeling that we, our relationship with each of the song individually has changed over time, which I think is really special. And, hopefully the same can be said when people listen for the first time from, a year or 2 from now, whatever. Hopefully they hold it dear to their heart, though.
We put a lot of predictions about the world into the album. Hopefully they all come true.
Yeah,
that
play
the
it
Cubs
backwards.
win the playoffs or
Mhm.
win the World Series,
Mhm.
whatever the
Yeah.
sports
Over the
championship.
hell?
No, they're
No, nothing like
Damn, all right. So, are you guys able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
So the album as a whole was just a fucking lesson and to communicating as a group, without getting into the nitty gritty here, about learning to listen to each other and to know and trust the other people around you, that if Sean's, this is hypothetical, but if Sean is texting us at 11 p.m. and he's like, you know what, I think that there's actually a change I want to make to the album order, coming in with nothing else and being objective and listening to him and learning how to do that like an adult has been something that I've taken away. That's not really one moment, but just really learning to put aside my subjectivity in the realm of Friday Pilots Club because I trust my bandmates, and
That's a big thing to come away with.
Yeah.
Just in putting a record together, there's a lot of opinions, more than just like putting out singles. There's everybody's got an opinion because it's like it's a big moment.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, in the aspect too, trying to get 5 people to agree on something, there's got to be compromise. So, I think that might be one of the biggest challenges, just learning to trust people and just go with it. And we did that. I think we got there. So
Hell yeah.
Right.
So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. What is your snack of choice?
Snack of choice. Oh, hot dogs. Easy.
Gas station hot dogs.
Yes.
Ew.
Yeah,
I know. Everyone says that, but they're brilliant. They're wonderful. I don't know. They're exquisite, especially if you suffer like a Sheets or something like that. If you're that blessed and you're in the southeastern region of America, stop at a Sheets, you get a hot dog, you get back in the car, drive like 4 hours, just thinking about how damn good that hot dog was. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to limit his hot dog intake on the road because he gets gassy real quick. So
I mean, because they're fucking gas station hot dogs. I wonder why.
you don't have to explain it to us. We don't understand it either. But mine would probably be I love a Gardetto. I love Gardettos.
Is that
Gardettos.
Oh, yeah, the ones with like the they look like miniature pieces of bread in them.
Yeah.
That are like crunchy. Yeah. Cool.
I feel like that's the closest you can get to having some sort of food that has without feeling like total crap.
Yeah.
My
Yeah. Fucking hot dog. On the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
Oh man, that's hard because there's a lot of different heritage in this band.
Yep.
You know what? I think we'd be a paella.
Okay.
Yeah,
paella.
paella. Maybe like not a seafood one because that would kill both. Oh wait, no, that would just kill Drew.
Oh.
But yeah, maybe like a paella. You know, just a bunch of shit going on, giant dish. There's, it's good. It can be a little spicy. There's some sausages.
I would say chicken limon.
Okay.
Man.
Cool. Hell yeah. We're just gonna throw it together on one big plate. That's the band. There you go. And for the last couple questions, going to shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh man, I love these food questions.
Thank you. We do too.
Thank you.
If it was your last meal and drink, go for it.
Portillo's chili cheese dog with onions. Got to make sure that the onions are in there if they're not already in the chili. I probably have like 3 of those, and then maybe like a strawberry milkshake because as a type 1 diabetic, if it's my last thing, I'm not going to give myself insulin. And to just enjoy a strawberry milkshake without having to administer insulin.
Yeah.
Sign me up, man. Yeah.
Damn right.
Mine would probably be my mom's roulatin. She's a great cook, and I would eat roulatin, and if I'm about to die, I'd probably have an old fashioned too.
Oh,
why not?
I didn't know that alcohol was on the table.
Dude, alcohol is on the table.
Yeah.
Along with that strawberry milkshake, I'd have a mezcal last word, made by my friend Tebow, who is a bar manager at a bar I worked at here in Chicago, and he's an excellent bartender.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Oh, man. Oh, God. I'm watching Shogun right now, so maybe like 1700s Japan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, fictional. That's actually right. That doesn't qualify.
Well, I mean, it's a fictional.
Japan is definitely a very real thing.
Yeah.
You're but like with like the characters of the show, those are fictional, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I do that. That would be my choice right now.
All right.
Maybe Harry Potter.
Okay. Yeah.
Or Azeroth. Big Warcraft fan. So.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Nice.
What house are you, Harry Potter?
Huh?
What house are you?
Oh, Gryffindor.
Gryffindor? That's fair.
How about you?
Hufflepuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right.
Very nice.
And I've thought of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Blue. No yellow.
Blue, probably.
Orange. I love orange.
Nice. All right.
Solid blue and orange.
So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you guys like to plug?
We got the album release show coming here May 11 or May 10.
I think it's May 10.
May 10, sorry. Losing dates. And come see us on the road in the UK and more to come in 2024. We're really excited. It's going to be a big year for us.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you. So now this guy's been Friday Pilots Club, and we have been the Good Noise.